I jumped into the water to save someone, accidentally pushed the drowning person's butt, who knew once she got ashore. She slapped me hard across the face. The onlookers tried to calm her down, but their words only made her angrier. Amid the chaos, someone whispered to her, saying I might not be all there mentally. Faced with this unprovoked humiliation, I didn't argue or dodge, just kept mumbling I needed to get back for surgery, right then. My colleague rushed over, panicked, and said they were in big trouble. And that trouble was me, because in the medical world I'm known as a surgical genius. Just 10 minutes earlier, I had completed a grueling 72-hour surgery, snatched a little girl's life back from the brink. Exhausted, I had just left the operating room, when the richest man in the city stopped me, begging me to operate on his sick son, because worldwide, only I could treat this rare condition. The hospital director quickly stepped in, saying I had worked non-stop for hours, and needed rest to ensure safety for the next surgery, but I waved him off. Said 2 hours of rest would be enough. Told him to prep the child for surgery first. I'd return after a short rest, but no one expected that on the way to the lounge, I'd witnessed someone fall into the water. Without thinking, I jumped in on instinct, leading to the absurd scene at the start. Even more ironically, the woman I saved was the billionaire's wife. She not only showed zero gratitude, but scolded me for touching her in disgust. My colleague quickly tried to explain that I had a critical surgery coming up, but the billionaire's wife found it laughable, mocked how a fool could be a doctor. Her friend even started a live stream, twisting the truth on camera, accusing me of being a creep, demanding I kneel and apologize just then. A taxi drove by. Hope flashed in my eyes. I stumbled forward to stop it, still muttering about returning to the hospital. The wife thought I was trying to escape, shoved me to the ground, almost getting me run over. I struggled to my feet, tried to explain to the driver, but he mistook me for a nuisance. Cursed me and drove off. The wife tried to hit me again. Luckily, my colleague stopped her, which made her even angrier. She publicly declared anyone who defended me wouldn't leave peacefully, then called her husband to complain. At that moment, the billionaire was waiting at the hospital. Hearing his wife had been disrespected, he flew into a rage, immediately sent his bodyguards. Minutes later, a fleet of luxury cars arrived. The bodyguards took control of the scene, backed by them. The wife ordered them to hold me down, forced me to kneel and apologize, or else they'd cripple me when I didn't comply. She grabbed a marker, wrote the word pervert on me, threatened to parade me through the streets. Someone in the crowd finally stepped up, angrily called out the wife's lack of conscience, said I was rushing back to save a child's life, and warned her that karma could strike her family too. But the wife smugly replied, her son's doctor was a medical genius. No illness could threaten him. My colleague then said that genius was me standing right there. The wife didn't believe it, laughed at the idea of covering for a fool. So my colleague pulled out ID and hospital documents, proving my identity. The wife turned pale instantly, but her friend kept denying it, saying a true genius couldn't be a fool like me. Claimed the billionaire just said surgery was starting, and the genius doctor must be at the hospital. No way I could be here. That made the wife regain her composure. She snapped and pulled out a knife, stabbed my hand hard, and was about to strike again, when her phone rang. It was a call from her husband, saying the boy had a sudden heart attack, was already in the OR waiting for the surgeon. Only the genius doctor could save him. The wife finally panicked, forgot about revenge entirely, and ran to the hospital in a frenzy. My colleague quickly called the director, told him I had been assaulted and injured. The director and billionaire were furious. If anything happened to me, the child would have no chance, as they worried anxiously. The wife arrived breathless at the hospital, desperately asked about her son. The billionaire's face was stone cold, said the boy was in critical condition, and the whole hospital was waiting on the surgeon. Just then, I limped into view at the end of the hallway. The director saw my bandaged hand, and his heart sank. The billionaire rushed over, anxiously asked who had hurt me. The wife stood frozen in place, trembling all over, finally realizing the disaster she had caused.